launched the box station into space. That probably took slightly more effort than dropping it on a town and killing a bunch of people. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. Hardly. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's one of the finest minds to ever grace the Order. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Inquire away. I may even respond. Very well. Never mind it. is quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.
I find your proposed time frame leisurely. Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are operating within the statistical parameters given to us, I see absolutely no reason to delay. Pick up the pace.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
Have an intellectual... You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Inconclusive at present. Potential causes for weakened snowpack include mortar fire, a crashed ship, perhaps even a small rift developing near the peak.
Architect, preserve me from guesswork. I want more concrete answers before the week is out. This cannot happen again.
I do recall a frantic scout filing a report predicting this eventuality. Perhaps a reviewing of his statistics may yield a full explanation.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're presently observing a ceasefire with Anti's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in a crossfire. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the archive, first to the invaders and now to the protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the risks. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. Only the finest place on this island. Words aren't sufficient to capture its many quality attributes. Best you observe it yourself. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest path is along the cliffside. Mind your step.
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Aren't you worried that the Order ain't equipped to handle this war? And more importantly, what comes after?
You seem to have some misconceptions about the Order and how they operate, dear.
No, I don't think I do. They're so fixated on the numbers that they're blind to the real problems at their doorstep. Ain't no way you can say this is all going according to plan.
Our every action is calculated to the decimal point, weighed against all possible outcomes. We're in process. Don't judge us by our variables. but by our constants.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I oughta step away? Hey, need something? If you say so. Try not to get into too much trouble without me.
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest action clearly runs counter to the plan. Mark my supposition. It's only a matter of time until we're called upon to take back the archive. Don't cause any trouble.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? I'm quite sure I don't know what refugees you're referring to. I fear our conversation has drifted from its central thesis. Continuing along this current trajectory seems unwise. Can I help answer any other queries for you? Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the garden's hub for all manner of research, instruction, and study, a beacon on the hill of progress. Since the Order's forced dispossession of Spireton and the Archive, many spaces within the hall have been repurposed to serve as a temporary headquarters. Which is to say, please excuse our mess, we're still remodeling. May all your problems precede solutions.
Loath as I am to compliment the enemy, that's one damn impressive tower. Seizing that as a prize would change everything.
receive your personalized order prediction yet. I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. This is the first one I've received since deployment.
Honestly, the ones you get in the field are lifesavers. I don't think 3 times over.
Oh, that does sound like let's see. Mine says, don't consume tea this morning. Oh.
You already consumed this morning's tea, haven't you?
Yes. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of arthropods in the area.
Craft's raring to go!
Nullified, unknown.
Have a fix on their weaknesses.
It appears we've dealt with all of them. Oh, that was a close one.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100, with 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far too much variability in that scale. The amount of pain I can imagine is hardly an objective measure of the maximum amount of pain I could actually feel.
Sorry to cut you off, but I'm encumbered with various concerns of the existential variety.
Tolerate such disorderly conduct.
emissions, and the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color.
Another object, just gone. Nothing should work that way, no matter how often the data is verified and sanctioned.
Excuse me, I don't think you have the authorization.
It's fine, but don't get too close. You won't survive direct contact with the rift. Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways to manipulate this rift or extract data from it. Unfortunately, our efforts have been ineffective thus far. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with or mathematical understanding of the rift phenomena?
Fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift, but it somehow maintains its position in space relative to the solar system.
Captain, I fear I have a confession to make. I have been present on Cloister.
Sir, the extra food drop has landed somewhere off target over in Order territory. Exactly where I wanted it. They act all high and mighty, but I give them 30 minutes before they cave to try it. New customers, hook, line, and sinker. Maybe a bandit.
Hey, you there. Got a minute? Hey, you there. I got a job that needs doing if you've got the time. It pays, of course. I need help finding some lost supplies. Of course. Wouldn't trust someone who takes a job without knowing about it first. It's like this. The dullards in orbit dropped a slew of pods in the wrong place. One of them has a critical crate of supplies in it. Find it and bring it back. Real simple, see? Job's a simple one. Can't rightly figure what else needs jawing about. They botched it and dropped a whole mess of them, but I only need you to lay hands on the one. Don't stress your brain pan over it, friend. Wouldn't go messing around with them if I was you anyhow. Leave them be. can't be stuffed to the rafters with mantisaurs, and, merciful law, there's no labels on the pods. Guess the faster deliveries like to be more profitable than waiting for some rube who'd make a proper mess of it. Right. You got yourself a deal, friend.
You're the maverick freelancer from the wireless.
Always makes me pretend I have eyes. She's just as
I seriously question the structural integrity of that bridge.
Investigating hostile intentions. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Combatant scan.
Raft's back in business.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Welcome to Auntie's Choice. We look forward to your inevitable acquisition and/or merger.
Welcome, big spender.
Those Protectorate scums squeezed us good this time. I feel like a sprat of unusual size in a cage meant for miniature breeds.
It's long past time we go on the offensive. I've been authorized to offer a substantial bonus to the first squad that pushes through.
Sorry, ain't interested. Everything we've tried has been...
Auntie's Choice welcomes you to Forward Operating Base 136, Future Consumer. You should take care in this hostile climb. Risks include inclement weather, hostile animals, risk of collateral damage, leaking uranium, artillery, shrapnel, frostbite, cave-ins, hypothermia, cultists, landmines, long falls, gangrene, damaged electrical equipment, and insect bites. You never know. That's enough for rote greetings. You're not a feckless civilian, or you would have died halfway here, so I'll speak plainly. Cloisters aside, I want off-planet yesterday, with my extremities intact, and that necessitates aid. You do my work for me, I can pay. Some Protectorate jackanapes are holed up on some main routes near here, thereby separating us from the rest of our force. Remove them by any means. Preferably by killing them and scattering their remains to the winds, but so long as they're gone, I don't much care. The sooner you get rid of them, the sooner I can take credit. Clear the Protectorate out from under the bridges and you'll get your pay. Get to fighting or get to dying.
Move it! Quiet.
I'm open to ideas. What would you expect that they've done with the archive?
Clearly, they've added more automechs and turrets. I believe they have more soldiers. Apparently, they know how to use the archive better than we did.
Poppycock. It can't be. Isn't it?
Trust me, it is.
The scrappers are getting closer and sniffing around at night. They give me the creeps.
I would rather have them scavenging than attacking us. So long as they stay over there, I say it's live and let me continue to drop hitches.
Distinguished consumer to the front lines of anti-choice. We hope you enjoy your time and your experience.
You're my kind of subcontractor. Could sure use a few more contractors like you on the payroll.
Resorting to violence. Combatant scan. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. your scopes for combatant analysis. Mobilizing. Rough customers. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
This must be the place Ortiz mentioned. Hard to fathom a lab in those caves. Whoa. Commander, hold up a moment. Are you hearing this? It's some manner of distress signal. Encrypted. One of Auntie's, I'm certain, but this one ain't entirely familiar to me. Well, the executives have their own codes specific to closing business deals and the like, but I ain't privy to it. I'd wager this is something similar. If it's not to do with the lab, I'll be damned. We should press on.
handle this. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Proceeding to attack. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Standing by to simplify.
What in the void? Law, I think I've seen enough death to fill 3 lifetimes. And it don't get any easier. What happened here? He spent his last moments crawling over to this terminal from the wreck. Sorry, friend. Wait. He's got a code breaker on him. Let's see. I'll be damned. That powered up the elevator. Signal's stronger than ever now. These poor bastards must have been responding to it same as us. This must be the lab.
At least Auntie's Choice had the good sense to leave the back door operational. Can't say I'm yearning to see what they've done with the place, though.
I just want answers. Let's go.
Hello? Is anyone there? I have been signaling for help incessantly. Come quickly. I'm trapped in my office, by the foyer. The others, I fear they might have lost their lives at the hands, claws of escaped beasts.
That's him. That must be the doctor. He's got no idea an entire squad died trying to fly in here and stay this far.
That's assuming he'd care. I'd give that roughly a 1 out of 10 chance.
Combatant scanned. Hostilities are afoot.
Mechanist Tate speaking. I need the record to show that I have reported many times that these pressure valves have fallen into disrepair. Only to be ignored each of those times. And now I'm out here in the voided cold, attempting to stop this leak from getting worse and... What was that? Stay back, creature! Blast that doctor for locking the catcher in the gun safe! This is when I need it! Maybe I... No!
Ain't getting through that unscathed. Seriously, don't send me in there. Terrible way to end the workday. Reckon we're the first to ever use this maintenance hatch?
What are they doing in this place? Ain't no purpose for this clear disregard for life.
This is where we all nod and say it's humanity that are the real monsters.
Hola, Ortiz? No, it ain't him. I thought... Commander, help me make sense of this.
Uh-huh. Now I extra want to kill this scientist.
I had a notion of what I might encounter here. Test tubes, records, some graphs kept on ice, but not this. Law. My heart just about stopped when I saw him. I thought Ortiz had come back, gotten himself in trouble, but no. This man, whoever he is, he's been dead for a time. Simple. Ortiz is missing the fingertips of his right hand. Ship hatch accident. We gave him grief about it for weeks. But this man's hands are all right. For all the good it did him. Void, damn it. This poor man. The test subjects. Ortiz. All of them are dead. All of them left in ruin by the butchers running this place. All of them could have been me. That ain't true. It weren't abandonment. It was breakage. I knew what would happen should anything go wrong. It made me a liability. It endangered my unit. I can't blame anyone else when I knowingly accepted the risks. But they gave me hope when I had nothing. If that was a lie, then where does that leave me? Suppose I've always known something to be true, though. If nobody's privy to what the powerful do behind closed doors, then they can do anything. It's folk like us who pay the price. All that matters now is finding that doctor. He's got a reckoning coming. My aim's steady, if that's your concern. I'm sorry. I'll be fine once we breathe fresh air again. Just need this to be over. Ain't keen to chat, Commander. I gotta find that doctor.
Now's not the time for a tete-a-tete, I'm afraid.
Over here! These beasts have me pinned down! Handle them straight away, please! I cannot let my genius be wasted here!
Boy, damn coward. We'll see how you beg when we're face to face. Oh, look left. That ursapod's mighty riled.
Only a gormless dunderhead would get between a mama ursapod and, well, anything really.
Back in business.
Is this the cub that Terminal mentioned? Still breathing, but only just. Void. That must be his mama on the other side of the glass. We were too late for the soldier back there, but not too late for this cub. We should help.
Poor things. Been there.
Another maintenance hatch above us, if we're apt to sneak about.
Perhaps a slyer approach is warranted.
Investigating target analyzed. Lay down fire. Vulnerabilities identified. Consider self-preservation a priority. Come back and scan. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Torpificator. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Eyes up. I spy a vent.
Perhaps a slyer approach is warranted.
Raft's raring to go.
Backward stab.
Raft's raring to go.
Back and scan. Check your scope for combatant analysis. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Medic, please.
Ain't keen to chat, Commander. I gotta find that doctor.
On their weaknesses.
Release me at once, please. I'm so worried that nobody intercepted my distress signal.
Oh, we got his signal all right. Let's get the bastard.
I'd offer to bet on how this turns out, but I'm afraid the act might throw off my equations.
There wasn't a person alive who could best the matriarch Ursapod. Yet, here you are. What a show!
You the doctor in charge here?
Indeed I am, soldier. And my, what a picture you are! What exquisite graft work. Might I trouble you for an examination?
So you're the one who butchered my friend, Ortiz. The one who tortured those creatures out there. Who killed that soldier.
What's going on? I don't know any Ortiz, I swear it. I'm just a doctor. Please, don't shoot. Records? I don't know of any such... Oh, bother. Fine, yes, I did complete a procedure on one Trooper Ortiz, along with 2 others. He eagerly offered himself up for this project's first human trials. Rather hasty in hindsight. I know what you're thinking. Yes, the grafting program was officially shuttered 6 months ago. That was not a lie. But I thought it a shame, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. I was recruited for this unofficial venture soon after. Don't understand the need for secrecy myself, but our sponsor demanded it. I dared not ask too many questions. Yes, well, working in the shadows does take its toll on sanitation. I personally would not choose to run a lab this way, but what else can I do other than what I'm told?
Enough with the excuses. You absolute wretch. Any scientist with any shred of decency would have refused your position. Your precious data is nothing compared to those you killed.
I sympathize with your friend, soldier. Truly, I do. But if I mourned every failure within these walls, I might never operate again. You must understand that the work we do here is greater than any one life. We can change the galaxy for the better. Enough with the threats of violence. Listen here, if you choose to brutalize me, all of my research and knowledge will be gone. Forever. The suffering you've seen here will be nothing in comparison to the suffering I could prevent. Do you truly want to be the one to stand in the way of progress? Of course I do. Ask your associate here if her grafting session was as pleasant as a creekside picnic. I acknowledge my subject's pain whilst also acknowledging its necessity. It's been a long time coming, but I believe I've laid the groundwork for treating injury and illness far better than modern medicine can manage. You see, I'm only here because I conceived of a device to keep my lungs operational. Without it, I'd be laying repose in an iron lung. This is just the start of what we may build. We are on the precipice of regrowing limbs that had been lost in accidents, reversing brain trauma, nerve damage, mayhaps aging one day. It would be a boon to humanity, and a boon to Auntie's bottom line.
Soon he'll be saying he can bring folk back from the grave. It's nothing but lies.
Let's not be hasty. I see your graft is a result of revision surgery. Your first go was botched, and you were considered a failure of the program, yes? I know what happened to those failures. Demoted, disgraced. It was horrible business. And yet, you still wear our colors. You want to reclaim your station, don't you?
You don't know anything about what I want. I'm not sure I should. If I accept such a bribe, what does that make me? Whether I want to regain my position or not doesn't matter. I don't want your help. I will not benefit from the pain of others.
You think there were no victims of the first program? That your existence isn't built off the bones of those who came before? You're no more righteous than I. You simply looked away. Now, if you stay your hand, I will grant you 2 state-of-the-art grafting parts. They cannot fail. Install one of them, and you'll see my earnest intent. You were never the broken thing they made you, soldier. If you wish it, you may still become a most extraordinary specimen.
No, no. Stop talking. Stay there. Don't make any stupid moves, understand? The adults need to have a talk over here. Commander, I don't know what to do. I came here intending to make him pay for what he's done. And I can't shake the reasons I've seen to burn this place to the ground. But what if he's right? What if something in his work is worth saving? What if this is my chance to make something of my life? To be accepted again? I appreciate that, Commander. But I still ain't so sure that's true. We've grown close, you and I. And you know full well I ain't keen to ask for help, but I can't afford a mistake. I could spare this doctor, explore this research's potential, but if I kill this man and exact retribution for Ortiz, I'll never know for sure what that research might have wrought. And if I do that, there'll be no going back for me, myself one of Auntie's own. Would I even want to? I do know that. Better than most, really. Suppose it's time I looked Auntie in the face and saw her for what she is. And at least now, I can fix this.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't shoot me! We were in the midst of negotiating!
I have no need for negotiating, Doctor. You brought this on yourself. Let's just take what we need and get out. I can't stand the sight of this place any longer. I need some time to think, Commander. We'll speak later, yeah?
Oh, let's talk later, dear.
I need some time to think, Commander. We'll speak later, yeah? Think we should make for Fairfield for the grafting lab. This mechanical augmentation could be of use to me, to us, if we can get it installed on the shoulder. And maybe I can bend the doc's ear for a moment or two. If anyone can help me make sense of what happened with Rasmussen, it's her. I need answers. So how about it? Thank you, Commander. I apologize for having us run about like this, but I just ain't been feeling right since the lab. Like there's an itch just beneath the skin. I'm just hoping something will put me right again.
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
You managed to launch the Vox station into space. I still think smashing it into it.
Airfield's hologram is not currently operating, pending scheduled improvements. Rest assured, the beacon of Auntie's choice will shine again.
All these rifts got everyone riled up, including me. What are we supposed to do if we encounter one?
Oh, you shoot it. Take that abomination out.
Wait, really?
No, you slackleg.
I ain't even close to hitting rock bottom yet. Middling bottom, sure, but not rock bottom.
Too much Spacers Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what ails you.
Ah, Inez, have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I got a device that might help stabilize what I got going on up on the shoulder. Ought to let me use my graft all the more often. Think you can install it?
Oh, well, this device is unusual and rather ingenious, if I may say so. Hold still, dear. This should take but a moment. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future, but I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. Where did you find such a device, anyhow? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know. Whatever do you mean? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
It was off the books, Doc. We found a grafting lab way out on Cloister, still operational. Wow, I ain't seen horrors like that in my life. They were brutalizing folk and creatures.
paying them no mind, giving them no honor even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath. What are you saying? Are they?
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive, cowering. I killed him and let his sick aims die along with him. There's no good that can come of his work. Nothing.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
Doc, with all due respect, what I do with him when I get there is my own damn business.
If you think it's my own well-being I fear, then you don't know me at all. I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, all I ask is that you remain safe. A terrible wrong has been done, but do not throw your life away to right it. You might seek justice via other means.
I can't promise anything, Doc, but I'll try. Thank you for everything.
Hello again. Remember not to move too swiftly if Copernicus lunges. Oh, how he does like to test the reflexes of others. What can I do for you?
It's silent as a tomb. I hope we aren't too late. If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Tristan! Seeing his friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Measures at the ready, Commander!
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate Arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Once they saw myself, they should have disengaged, owing to my presence on official Arbiter business. Their sloppiness resulted in their deaths. The fault lies purely with them. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to do this more than a few times. I shall not stay your execution! Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? Had I not been so overcome with emotion, I would have been thorough enough to delete that. It matters no longer.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath? We've no proof anyone was a traitor. And even if we had, it should still have been formally presented to Protectorate High Command.
It would be one Arbiter's word against the Supreme Arbiter and the Consul. Insubordination at that level would have seen me executed.
The truth would have come out, one way or another. There are other leaders. Vigilance could have looked into the matter.
Well, don't be a fool. The Vigilance could not even be bothered to stand against him as he wrested more and more power for himself. No. I had to take matters into my own hands. With the demands this war has made on us all, I'd not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. How dare you! I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was out of my loyalty. The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There was not a step we took that she did not watch, a fact we know that she did not teach. And I killed her as a traitor. Damn you. Damn you 1,000 times. How can I not bear remorse for the slaying of one I considered my own kin? No matter what I do, I find myself reliving that moment whenever I close my eyes. Her sin was unforgivable to the Protectorate, but The Supreme Arbiter taught me that the Protectorate is the only family any of us would ever need. Yet, I have found little comfort within it since her passing.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. You know that I have to judge you. There's no other choice available to me. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. I find myself torn. Though I still believe wholeheartedly in Protectorate law, you and I have certainly encountered other dubious situations. You taught me to judge based on merits. Together we spared some and executed others. But what I have learned with you shall be most difficult to apply here. Virgil is my sworn brother, and he acted under duress. But killing the Supreme Arbiter is unforgivable. Yes, but it is beyond the jurisdiction of even those such as us to mete out such a judgment. It should have been elevated to higher channels.
And how would the Consul have reacted to an official accusation of treason by an inferior no less? You know they care not for evidence.
But the Supreme Arbiter herself taught us exactly that. That evidence proves the crime. Surely she wouldn't have been so hypocritical as to deny that?
People change when faced with their own death. I would expect you'd learned that by now.
Except that Arbiter's problem was one of intent, not action. I do see some semblance, however. But even if that is the case, there is no room for interpretation here. Sparing Virgil would directly reject all I've been taught to uphold. I must be impenetrable. I can't allow personal attachments to cloud my judgment. Yet, I cannot deny what happened to him. What could happen to me? The law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? The Supreme Arbiter taught us that conscience has no bearing in our role. But I suppose she has given me much reason to question her teachings. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. Oh, it would doubtless have been bloody. I cannot be certain who would have prevailed. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Good on you, Rao. Ain't healthy to let the hammer solve all your problems.
Would that I could forgive myself. I shall have to live with what I have done in the name of the Protectorate. Defection is madness. But perhaps I'll have no choice with the Consul after me. I must make myself scarce while I decide what to do next.
Virgil, you should take comfort in doing what was right. The Supreme Arbiter was a traitor. I believe her execution was just. And you should as well.
Just in the eyes of the Protectorate. But we've forever lost our mentor, our friend. And, I might add, if the Protectorate had its way, you or I would presently lie dead as well. How can I see the morality in a system that demands brothers, guardians, friends kill one another in its name?
Brutality is one thing, but justice should not be brutal. It should be righteous. The way Virgil put it... I don't know. I need to think.
1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being, I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. Paradise Island hardly befits its namesake these days, Speak freely.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, Auntie's Choice will get what's coming to them. Been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I just didn't think it would start this way. With me turning murderer. I didn't want to believe you about Auntie's Choice. But you were right. Ain't no better than Spacer's Choice. Making either of them see reason is an impossibility. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. They used to say it about us workers, like we were the problem. It was terrifying. But now, I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then, but it certainly can now. What if I think I already have? I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment, knew I always aimed to do right by him and folk everywhere, but he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw? Yeah? I'm gonna cling to that notion for a while, if you don't mind. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Suppose we're fixing to find out.
Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. But allowing him to live was betraying the Protectorate, wasn't it? I find myself more torn than ever before, and yet it does not feel like a misdeed. You're right. Virgil was trapped between Protectorate laws, and only leniency could free him. But the fact that such a circumstance could happen at all. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? But how? I see. I must follow my own path, my own sense of right and wrong. I can only hope it has been cultivated properly. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make good on them first. Then you may be impressed. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.
we standing around jawing for? There's mayhem and murdering to be done.
The cultist known as Azza has been admitted to the ship roster. Among her registered weapons is what she refers to as her disemboweling knife. This unit reminds the commander that anticoagulants are your first line of defense when injury occurs.
It's Fizzos, Fizzos, we love Fizzos, Fizzos, Spectrum Vodka. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered artificial beings. These choices start 110% hope.
Of unavoidable embedded chemicals.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No!
Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight.
I do. Been waiting on this moment. This grafting program is a law-damned abomination. I went to your lab on Cloister, saw for myself what kind of depravity your folk got up to there. It's sick. My friend was butchered by Rasmussen. And he wasn't the only one. In fact, this program's been a sham from the start. I got tossed aside. And for what? A mistake? Ain't nothing good that's come of this. It's time to call it quits.
What a preposterous notion. Shall we stop producing inhalers because of side effects? Or shut down all food factories because one severed appendage finds its way into packaging? No, certainly. I am not to blame for whatever inconvenience you experienced as a first edition patient. To quit now would be to toss aside all our progress. You little sneak. I'm in the process of securing more funding, thank you very much. And I will not allow a light money pouch to thwart my efforts.
Don't matter to me what your plans are, or what you think you might accomplish. You've hurt too many good folk, and I've had enough.
I fear you've gotten too negative an impression of this work. Hear me out, will you? Allow me to assuage those fears. Are you a fool? We cannot speak of sensitive business details here. There's no telling which opportunistic colleague or overpaid contractor could be listening in. Meet me in back deck steerage. Take this pass for the tram. And for law's sake, make sure no hanger-on follows you. Especially that assistant of mine next door. Chin up, dear. I believe I'll change your mind yet.
We'll see. Seen this song and dance from all manner of suits before. Reckon he'll try to reel us into a ridiculous scheme, or bribe us with bits or booze or what have you. But this'll make it easier for us to intimidate the bastard into stepping down. Ooh, I relish the notion. Can't help but wonder if Willard's already waiting for us in the back, scheming as he's wont to do. Or maybe...
Tramicular. Arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Back deck steerage.
foolish, aren't you? Thinking I'd reveal my secrets to the likes of you. Ha! Contractors, now's your chance. First one to kill these imbeciles gets a one-time immune assault discount.
Clear the target.
Time to settle it down. On the wrist.
You'd come through, my good Biff. That discount will be applied to your next purchase at the commissary, but cannot be combined with other... Ah! You're still alive!
Ain't gonna be that easy to get rid of us, you idiot. This how you treat all folk who approach you in good faith?
No folk have ever made it this far. How did you get past all my contractors? They were heavily trained and heavily expensive. This again? What is it with you? No! I've no incentive to shut down my life's work, especially at the demand of common thugs.
You ever seen a grafted claw strip flesh from the bones of a stubborn old man?
No.
Well, on the count of 3, you will. 1.
All right, fine. Consider this my resignation. Here, take everything I have. Any bits left in my office are yours. Just, please, don't follow me.
Good riddance. But this ain't over yet. The other executives will be notified the moment Willard flees the undisputed claim. And within hours, dozens of rung climbers will be at the tower jockeying for his position. It's all but certain that they'll claim his work for their own and make his bastardization of a grafting program all the worse if they so choose. Ain't about to let that happen. Wouldn't bet on that. You only become an executive if your sole concern is the bottom line. But shame? Shame can work wonders. It's obvious he was up to his neck in some scheme. If we dig it up and get the word out, his legacy will be in shreds. Maybe folk will be less inclined to follow in his footsteps. Should all but guarantee that Willard can't come crawling out from whatever rock he's keen to hide under, in any case. Dunno about that. Try as they might, they can't deny cold hard facts staring them in the face, especially if it's to do with money. It's worth a try, ain't it? You and I both know that's not true. Might be enough to sway some folk who had one foot out the door, maybe. But the executives? No. The only feelings a sob story inspires around these parts are feelings of relief and misplaced superiority. Unless there's a bit to be made. All right. We ought to start by searching his office. Any evidence we can find regarding money or business dealings could be of value. Once we got what we need, we can head to the recording studio to get the word out. The promise of a scandal should be enough to get in the door.
Trinicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station.
Left, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice.
As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business
You cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times. I am not to be disturbed. Ha! That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such.
I'm here to tell you that your treacherous fiend of a boss is now out of commission, and I'm investigating all of his indiscretions. You wouldn't happen to know about any unsanctioned business dealings, would you?
Ah, I'm afraid I can't help with that. I've only spoken with him once, upon my hiring. Well, yes, but not here or face to face. I was to have all communications sent to a private room at the Best Choice. He held all his business dealings and records therein. I gather he was circumventing intellectual property taxes or some such.
The Best Choice. That's the lounge for VIPs, looking out over the Esplanade, if I'm remembering right. We might pay it a visit.
If that's all, I'll thank you kindly for closing the door when you leave.
If we drag enough skeletons out of Willard's closet and dangle them in front of the masses, things will go our way. Just have to look in the right places.
You again? Shouldn't it be clear by now that you aren't welcome here? You again? Shouldn't it be—
Come on, Commander. There's no need—
Indeed, there—
Hey, we could use more go-getters like you.
Trinicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Value added Esplanade.
Oh, ain't heard from Ortiz in months. When we get back to the ship, let's give this a watch.
Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's Darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, sixth base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacers Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Anti's Choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you.
I'm Anti-Cleo, and I endorse this message.
Attention
this is about what I expected.
Still too many corporate bootlickers drawing air around here for my taste.
Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya. Well, suppose that's all my suspicions. I feel a little bad for a bar. It stings less now that they didn't help Tausetti. Guess there's a big difference between thinking they didn't care and realize. Fine by me. How personal are we talking? Yeah, I want to say up front that I got nothing against you or your crew. Ain't one to judge the firearm by its plating. And so far, you ain't given me reason to doubt your character. But the Earth Directorate itself, it's got much to answer for. Yeah? Then I reckon that explains the Earth Directorate's disregard for their own mission statement. The Earth Directorate swore a promise to every colony out there. That if you plea for help, help will come. Maybe not immediately, but you know, maybe sometime this decade. But that's all a heap of shit. You know how many of us in Tausetti tried to send messages? And when that didn't work, how we begged the stars for the Earth Directorate to save us? They never responded. Never showed up. Not when I was a child, certainly not by the time Auntie's Choice came around. You ask me, you're selling folk a lie. I know that. I see you doing all you can to help folk. Look, I ain't holding you to account for the Earth Directorate's ills. No more than anyone would hold me to those of Auntie's Choice. We're our own people. No matter how often I'm hit in the face with that fact, with you, with Ethel, it's rather easy to forget at times. But talking through this reminds me. And I appreciate it, Commander. Nor do I.
Now please, go anywhere else so that I can tend to the actual patrons' word of this choice.
Whenever I see that moon man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's Choice! Darlings! We won!
Yes, I understand I may look in charge, but I'm just minding the desk for our esteemed director. The real talent, as they say.
I need to get a message on the broadcast, urgently. Can you help with that?
Not unless you need any clever pointers on enunciation. Our director, however, is in one of the recording booths, through the door to your left. You'll want to speak with her. Sorry, no autographs.
Welcome to Wireless Free Arcadia Studios. Thessaly Falk, Director of Talent Placation and General Runnings. Here to contract a recording, or in the market for autographs?
Holt sent me to speak with you. I got a message I'd like to send out over the wireless. Trust me, this is one all the folk in Auntie's Choice won't want to miss.
Is that so? Well, the more riveting the content, the larger our commissions. However, as you're without an appointment and I'm quite busy, I'm afraid I've only time to record one take. Do make it count. Shall we begin?
Glad we're in agreement. I'm here to expose the truth about a prominent vice president. His business dealings are not what they seem.
That's quite the bold claim. Now remember to speak into the mic, dear. Enunciate clearly, but with feeling. Inhabit the words. Be the message. Joining us today in the studio is a very special guest and rare specimen indeed. A grafted soldier. And one who alleges that one of Auntie's own vice presidents is not who he seems. Take it away.
Inez Seelong speaking. I got intel on an illegal program led by Vice President of Experimental Operations, Willard Conan. Folk aplenty suffered because of it.
Some say there cannot be success without suffering. It's more or less standard operating procedure, isn't it? Unless you're leaving out any gory details.
He was running a lab on Cloister that very few even knew of, and grafted even more folk illegally in that butcher's shop. But if that ain't incriminating enough for you, Willard had himself some money problems, which ain't too distant from a grave sin far as Auntie's concerned.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. Tell me, did he squander all his bits on drink? Bet it all on a tarmac and cheese rebranding? Or worse? Thoroughly recount every lurid detail?
He stole from Auntie directly. I have here, in his own words, an admission to the crime. It's go-getterness gone too far. And you know what happens to one of Auntie's nephews who misbehaves?
Splendiferous. Couldn't hardly get more sensational than that if we tried. The audience will be on the edge of their seat hearing all the ghastly minutiae about this scandal.
I think we did it. Won't know for sure until the broadcast airs, of course, but law, I reckon I might finally be able to put this to rest. For Ortiz. For everyone. Thank you, Commander.
Oh, Inez, almost forgot. We have a bit of a goodie bag for special guests who visit the studio. You qualify. Do collect it from the front desk on your way out.
Feeling like I could take on the galaxy, Commander. But don't worry, I always got time for you.
Sorry, no autographs.
time for a chat, Commander? Commander, you hear my interview over the wireless too? They've been playing it every hour. Part of it, anyway. Seems all the evidence we brought Thessaly made an impression. Other VPs are fearing for their jobs now. Can you imagine? Reckon nobody will touch Willard's work now. You sure did. Though Willard made it easy for us to follow his tracks, didn't he? He's a prime example of arrogance breeding stupidity. If I ain't said it recently, then let me say it again. Thank you. I don't think I could have done right by Ortiz all on my own. Nobody has to be hurt like he was again. Come on. You've done enough for me already. And any help from a friend is invaluable. You know, it's hard to fathom that just months ago I spent so much law-damn time begging to be accepted, like I was worth only what other folk thought of me. I was so lost. I really believed when I ended my contract that a better life was possible. I know the truth about Auntie's choice now, and I know who I am. So yeah, a better life is possible, just not at someone else's mercy. I ain't gonna let myself or anyone else be led into the same trap they set for us, ever again. I will, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save. Got something that needs doing, Commander?